Welcome back. We're lost in the thickets of the woods. We've relocated a bit, still near civilization obviously, but we're not going too far off. I want to title this video, The Importance of Keeping Your Mind Afloat. Now, of course, obviously, got my other phone going off. Always having proper preparation prevents poor outcomes. And as you can see, like, we're in right off a trail, not on anyone's property. We're a free bird. And it's amazing because, I think about where it all began. I think for this video, I'm going to disclose my childhood and how I grew up. Prevent me becoming like everyone else, not going to be moldable, which was the downfall. I should have just kept to my guns. Should have done that. And not listen to anyone else. And of course, living in New York State as I am currently, MK Ultra noises are everywhere. Voice of God weapons. There's 5G towers around every block, near every vicinity. So, obviously at this point I can't walk more than 2 miles because nobody should be walking like 17 miles or anything. I know that's another thing that everyone talks about when you're homeless. I have my car. Now that's all I got. I got a 2021 white Sentra SV, and it's just a sports car. A lot of people thought I was going to do like the dashboard route and get a Suburban. Be a blockade runner like the Duke boys, as interstate travel is blocked off. A nice, beautiful day. Now, of course, there's a trail behind me, and you could witness anything. But that's not the point of this. The point is, my childhood was not like anything else. I lived quite a hermetically sealed life, never really explored much, as you can tell. Look at us, we're second attire. Look at this. We gotta get the bags going. Got some wrestling going on, of course. And of course, that's just a squirrel. Now, obviously, I was just out of frame to show you what was going on. Because that's what this channel should be more about, me being out in the open and not trying to hide anything. On my little water bottle, this ain't gonna satiate me. Just a little sip. And I have kind of like a hard time explaining exactly what the problem is all the time. It's like I'm trying to talk about my childhood, I'm getting distracted. ADHD is a good thing, Don't ever be so hard on yourself. It's not your fault that you're in this situation, predicament. It's nobody's fault. But, as usual, we're here again. Keep hearing some rustling. I don't know what this is. This could be the MK Ultra trying to find me or whatever, but we're out in the middle of basically nowhere. Not nowhere, but near civilization, near a highway, interstate route, and just gotta record my thoughts here. Now I need to stop doing all this rambling on. My childhood, basically, if I can just get to it. Very sealed off, overprotective helicopter parents. Didn't really have a good, easy upbringing. I had a lot of medical issues when I was younger. A lot of head problems, a lot of like cerebral deficiencies, of course. Was diagnosed for ADHD. Doctor says I don't have it. He could just be trying to tell me what I want to hear. And that's another point that would actually probably I want to point out here. And it's probably not an original take. Probably somebody else thought of this. Is that people only see other people's success and they want to just focus or fixate on everything based on it. They don't want to hear about the guy under a bridge, down in the hole, you know, on hard times. You know, society wants you to be a working ant. Period. So if you've been with helicopter parents, this is an underrated opinion, but especially if you're on the older side, your birth was unplanned. Anybody listening to this channel, it's going to be not that many people because my channel is going to be probably shadow banned by YouTube. It's not a good site. Your birth was unplanned if you're listening to this. And there's nothing you can do about it. Except just make a video. And because if your birth was unplanned, and God only knows why, let's say your parents just don't really think about anything. So now you're here. The government didn't tell you that we were downsizing the economy. The final dissolution is just you're going to be living under a bridge. If you're a white guy, if you're an excess young white man, there's no upward mobility. And another thing that a lot of people try to turn in is that it's not your fault, because for a lot of reasons, they'll try to uphold this moralistic zealotry. Another thing that I can't understand is why. They'll tell you, go to church. You'll meet someone there. Go to a liturgy session or seminar at church. Hear the word of the gospel. Preach it to the high. It's always retards. Preaching to the highest mountaintop, screaming, and we have to accommodate for you. So, when I was growing up, I was a retard. I was a normie. I didn't get into the nonsense, like the black pill or any pills, because I'm honestly like an optimist that things could be getting better in your own life. I don't believe in this naysaying, oh, it's, you know, your life is down the drain. Things are definitely, you know, in your control, but there's certain limits to self-improvement. So that's why when you grow up with no resources, the friend group that you have is deflating. Or let's say even more tragic, like my case, you try to fit in. There's not enough room on the bus. You miss the last bus. Bucko, what are you doing? You gotta be homeless. I'm gonna be homeless. I'm choosing to be homeless, like Dustin Clay mentioned. And I'm gonna get better as the videos progress. And another thing that happened to me was not only did I have a lot of head trauma, I had like epileptic seizures and shit. My parents, they gave me Zog medication. They gave me like all this stuff for anxiety to cure my seizures. And my brain is not as malleable as I gotten older. See, like, that's the thing. Now, of course, when I was in kindergarten, people say, well, did you have any luck? I did. First day of kindergarten, there was a Jewish woman that kissed me on the lips. And I remember running home with my mom and said, you'll never believe this. Mama. Elizabeth, you know who, I'm not saying the surname. Don't want to, you know, say who it was. She kissed me on the lips. And at that time, that's when my life just went completely downhill. 5 years old is when I peaked. Dashboard says when a man peaks, it's like, 13, 14, 15. For me, I peaked at 5, and that was it. It's all been downhill since. But maybe I'll show you a picture of my car later. Maybe I'll do like a snap in the next vid, and then we'll be driving around like complete lunatics. Lunatic fridge. A golden earring. But you know, they talk about like my kindergarten days. I'm like, well, I don't get it. You had a girl kiss you on the lips in 5th grade, so you're technically not an inky because you got interaction. So you don't count back off. So what if you haven't been intimate for like God knows how long, 17 years? So what? And it's like, people try to ask me, well, where'd you grow up? I'm like, well, I can't, I'll say New York State, upstate New York, but I'm not going to disclose where. All I can say is Payne Whitney treated me better. Payne Whitney. Yeah, up here, man, there's nothing. That's why I'm thinking of just moving to the coast or the Midwest states, for sure. Like, I can't believe that when I look at my life, I haven't even finished this dramatic story. So, to wrap things up, I joined the track team in like 2016, 2017, and last year's were like 2020, and I was on junior varsity. So I wasn't just some, whatever. I wasn't just some, I was something at that time. I could have been something. I could have been someone. Now I'm a bum, you know? Isn't that crazy? Wind's picking up. Air's going. Probably gonna have like a northeast current or whatever the fuck. And it's gonna be dropping down, and it's gonna be muggy later. Because all this hot air. Because this is another thing that you'll learn about all this. As I keep rambling on like a lunatic. There is like no stationary point I can be at. It's called electrical harvesting. You know. Sky is positive, right? Up there, the sky's positive. What's negative? Ground. So all that energy is going to have to come somewhere. That's why if you have a warm or cold front coming in, it's going to be intertwined somewhere. And there's going to be some type of clouds coming up soon. So what I can probably discern or divine is that may be the case. I could be wrong. I'm always wrong sometimes. But I gotta do another, like, origin story, full origin story, talking about what I should do, you know. And when I joined the cross-country team, a lot of the guys there were all inkies. They couldn't get a woman to save their life. If you gave them 24 hours, 36 hours, they couldn't do it. Couldn't uphold it. And I remember this one guy, his name was Nick. And Nick was born in the Denny's bathroom. And he was a early Zoomer. I was an early Zoomer. And we were fraternizing, as usual. And he's talking about, like, he gets PTSD from his father. And he goes on about, like, I want to join the military. I want to, do something to Zog. I want to get things done. And this, that, the other thing. So he joins the military. He's still in the military, I would think, to this day. 5 years from now. But, a lot of things, man, can go wrong. And I wouldn't wait for Zog. And even if I did, you don't say stupid things when you're in the military. Like, you just don't. You don't say shit like Freemasons or MK Ultra. You say stupid shit like that, you're gone. But at the same time, the military is the welfare program for most dejected white men. Oh, god damn it. Fuck. This is reality, dude. So I had to quit, cross country. during COVID, right? It's like 6 years ago. And it fucked me up. You know, my coach, his name was Kranick, he was like, look guys, our roster's running pretty low, we're running out of people. We need people like myself to keep the whole team going. And as I left, I remember there were a slew of other men. And I think there were like a few couple nons there as well. And of course, the tallest guy was Giovanni. He probably got a lot of white women from what I could tell. And just, you know, if you're like, you got like fetal alcohol syndrome, you just never really grew, you just have small, frail bones, you're a waif. Your mama was a llama. Your mom had you at like, oh my fuck, Jesus H. Mary and Joseph, she had you like at 35, 40. Ooh, fuck. Yeah, you're gonna come out retarded. You know, you're not gonna have good genetics. So, for all you know, my mom could be black. You think I get my ethnic hair? Moroccan oil wouldn't work at all. I would need like that, what's that other, there's like ethnic hair products in like every store now. And it should be like a warning, a stark, grave warning, but I don't know. Prelude to what's to come. Now, Moroccan oil, I would need more than that. I need like canola oil. Fucking keep this thing down. So after I quit cross country, I did have, or what I could regale, like a moment of clarity. I remember there were a few females on my team. And we would go to invitationals, tart invitationals. So we weren't just, you know, drugs. We got things completely under control. We were a team. And when my life went down the road, and went down the rails like that, pisses me the fuck off. But over the years, I had to come to terms with it. What was I supposed to do? I had to accept this as my role. You know, from junior varsity, getting... Oh, phone fell. Getting acclamations, getting all this good stuff. And for what? What do I have to show? I got all these medals from like you know, the other team. Don't want to say where it was, but they were like, let's go, and they said the team name. And what do I have to show for it? It's like I was doing it for my non-existent children and wife. That's beyond mental illness. And of course, as we're seeing, I do predict a sustained, prolonged economic depression lasting more than 10 years. You know? Lasting more than 10 years. Yeah, it's sad. It really is unfortunate that this is my life. I would never thought I would have to come to terms with this shit and have to deal with such nonsense. Just, I was a part of a team. They all left. They're all sprawled. Now they're all gone, lost. One joined the military. It's like the ending of Stand By Me. One guy joins the military. I'm cooming myself to death. I'm on the verge of being, you know, a derelict, a vagabond. The black guy is scooping up all the white women, Giovanni. Yeah, it's the ending of Stand By Me. And it's just, you know, I can't be wrapped up in delusion anymore. My life has changed for the worse. You know, I can't just be like, you do keep moving. You got this. Woo! What am I supposed to do? Just admit it? Like, I gotta be like, put into a fucking admission. Put me in a Nelson and say it. Say it, you done messed up. I get Irish whipped. That's what's gonna have to take for me to realize that, you know, after high school, it's off the rails, man. So my origin story is pretty damn tragic. And the friends that I had, they weren't real friends. They weren't fucking real friends at all. Look at all this. I'm out in the fucking middle of nowhere. Look at this shit. Jesus Christ. I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere. Basically. So that's basically going to wrap up this video. And as we're in this squeeze, and as I'm preparing for the next video to show you my setup for my homeless encampment, probably gonna try not to be under a bridge this time and avoid all the druggies. I want you to just take this in. Take in all this ambience. I wish I had like contemporary music in the background I could play. It could be like Last Days Here by Pentagram. Good band. But it's time for me to wrap this up, this train wreck of a rant. But every day I equate my morning with, where did it all go wrong? What happened to me? You know, what happened to me? Yeah, it's just, it's never good. That's all I'm left with, just me, myself, and I. No one's gonna come and save me. I'm out in the middle of fucking property that I probably shouldn't be on, but basically in the middle of fucking Nowheresville. There's like nobody in the lot. I'm like the only car in the parking lot, and one more thing I want to add is the lack of young teenage pregnancies in my grade were astonishingly low. Like if I look back on like all this bullshit, dude, all this nonsense. One girl named Liana, I think she dropped out of high school and she became like a mother and had a kid. Not out of wedlock, but from what type of means, right? And I can't regale if anyone else really did the same thing. I think a lot of people were wrapped up in career. I was displaced as usual, and everyone else was just kind of doing their own thing without, you know, warning other people what's going to happen, right? As we're getting squeezed into like this demographic doom spiral. So yeah, next video, guys, I'll go more into the origin story. This is just all over the place. I'm on like property I probably shouldn't be going on, but yeah, no one's gonna stop me. I'm a true vagabond at this point. I got this place in back. There's like a few trees up here, as you can tell. I'll try to get this going. Yeah, we gotta get the hell out of here, but always constantly moving. So I'll catch you guys on the next stream. And I know this updated origin story was just fucking wild, but we're seeing the batteries low. I gotta go charge it. Gotta go to like some library this time and get that done. This, that, the other thing. But we'll see you guys later. All right, peace out.